welcome back to Pal Talks. Hope you had a great week. We are still in December. We're that much closer to Christmas. I hope you guys are just excited as I am. As you know, I love Christmas. Love, love, love. I hope you guys have had such a great week. Oh my goodness, it has been a week. But as you know, we're here to catch up, give y'all some hot cocoa, not tea, because we're in Christmas mode. But yeah, hopefully you guys have been good. Shout out in the comments, let me know how your life has been. But no, hopefully you guys have had a good week. I know work has been dragging because I know like the holidays are coming, which makes it feel like the days are going by slower. And I'm trying not to snack too much. I'm trying to watch what I eat so I can like go all out for Christmas. I don't know about y'all, but like for my family, Christmas time is almost like another Thanksgiving because we make a lot of food, we gather, we eat, and we hang out. Almost like we do everything that we do for Thanksgiving, except for we do it again, and there's specific Christmas music. And okay, I love Christmas, so I have satellite radio, but if you don't have satellite radio, because I drive a lot, so in the car I'm constantly listening to Christmas music now. I started listening to Christmas music the last week of November. That's when I started. Anyhow, so satellite radio has a lot of cool stations for Christmas music that can definitely put you in the mood. And the best part about being bilingual and Latina is that I get to listen to Christmas music not only in English, but in Espanol too. So that's always a perk because they got some good songs in Spanish as well as in English. And so I've been doing that. But if you don't have satellite radio, you can always go to your good old Pandora. I'm sure your radio is playing Christmas music at this time. And all the stores are playing it too. So if you're out there shopping, I know you can hear it, and I love it. But try not to snack. I'm trying not to snack because I'm really trying to be good until Christmas week. And then, go all out with the kids with baking, continue the baking, and just snacking and the eating of candy. So how's y'all shopping coming along? Did any of my ideas help y'all? I hope you guys are doing better as far as your shopping. If not, I'm always good about crafting. I like crafting. I'm big on like personalized gifts. Like if somebody made it, you could bake me brownies and be like, Merry Christmas. I'll be like, yes. It doesn't necessarily have to be store-bought or like whatever I had mentioned last week, but you never know. It's the thought that counts. Even like, hey, let's meet up for dinner and that's like our Christmas. That would be cool with me too. A good drink and just, I don't know, vent. That's a good Christmas gift too. Letting me vent. So yeah, but also, you would think my neighbors would be decorating for Christmas, but no. No, I guess he doesn't want nothing on his grass. It is still perfect though, but no Christmas decorations. Like I mentioned last week, I'm not in the mood to put on Christmas lights. The weather has not been letting me. It's too cold. And by the time I get home, I'm tired. But I would have loved to put up Christmas lights. I have the Christmas lights, but it's too cold. So I'm going to say no to Christmas lights this year. Sorry. But I'm going to go out and support whoever did do it. A lot of my neighbors, there's these two neighbors before you turn into my cul-de-sac. One of them is like vomiting inflatables. I kid you not. Their lawn is not even that big, okay? I promise you it's not that big. Like, imagine you could park like two SUVs like facing each other, like, and that's their that's their front lawn. And this dude put up like 30 freaking inflatables. It's crazy. I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna put a picture up for y'all because it's crazy. It really is. I'm definitely going to get a picture so y'all can get a visual. And then I have another neighbor, a few houses down. They're like the grandparents that buy every freaking Christmas decoration and they just like throw it in the front lawn, and it's just too much. Like it's a cluster hell. Like I don't even know. And then right in front of them, it's one that's like, okay, she's thought it out. She knows what she's doing. She's creative, okay? She didn't overdo it. So them three this year, But I appreciate the hard work. I appreciate, but they're going all out. I'm gonna give y'all visuals. I'm gonna take pictures so y'all can be like, dang, like, and I have to see that every day, okay? So, anywho, I don't know about y'all, but like I watch a lot of shows for y'all. So y'all don't have to if they're not that great. But this one, y'all know my go-to is Netflix, and I don't know if y'all heard, but Netflix bought like Warner Brothers and something else. But I'm gonna have a lot more to watch now, which probably means our freaking like membership is gonna go up again. Netflix every 3 months now, like they're charging more. And I'm just like, oh, it is what it is, Y'all see my nails? Because we're getting closer to Christmas. Anyhow, so Netflix put up this movie called Train Dreams. Y'all, that movie was so good. It was so good. So let me tell y'all about it. Get comfy, okay? Your girl's going to take care of you. We're going to pretend we have hot cocoa right here because I can't drink hot cocoa and talk to y'all. I wouldn't want you guys to hear me slurp. Anyhow, so it's called Train Dreams. It's a drama, okay? It's a really long movie. It's a tearjerker. It makes you cry. It's very slow moving, okay? Not too many words. The narrator in the movie, oh my God, his voice is so good. So good. Very captivating. But it's one of those movies that it's not how much is said, it's more visual. Like you have to keep up with the storyline based on the scenes. Not too much talking is involved. And when they are talking, you have to pay attention. But basically, the main character his name is Robert Grenier or Grenier, like Grenier. I think it's Grenier. Anyhow, he's played by Joel Edgerton. Great actor. He just has like this very sad look to his face. You can tell he's been through some shit, like just from looking at him. Well, in the movie, obviously. Anyhow, so this movie is basically following the life of Robert Grenier, of his 80 years of life, okay? And basically he was born in the 1880s up until he dies in November of 1968. So basically you're following his life, okay? So he basically came to, I just said basically like 10 times. He came to this town in Idaho as an orphan child. This town was along the railway, and he grew up there, okay? So he went straight into railroad construction. That's all he knew. He dropped out of school and he basically went out into the workforce to work on the railroad. And then from the time that he spent on the railroad, he grew a very lonesome life up until he met the love of his life, which was Gladys Olding. And he falls in love with her. He never thought he would fall in love. And they have a beautiful child. And they build a beautiful cabin along the river. And he obviously is a provider. So you get to see what life it was like in Idaho, in one of those towns, for a man and a woman to come together and start their life, and what it really takes to survive at that time. And once he married her and she had her child, or their child, he went into logging, like wood logging, where they would cut down trees. And at that time, he was working on the railroad and logging, and he would basically travel along the railroad line, basically work a season, and then come back home ever so often. But sometimes he would go months without seeing his wife. And unfortunately, you get to see a lot of highs and a lot of lows in his life. And you're following him, what he sees out while he's working. He sees racial discrimination on the railroadways. He sees how you get to see him grow within the railroad and logging construction world, and the advancements as time passes, and the brutal life that it took a toll on these men. And I mean, these men were rugged men. Like, you could tell they were hard-working men. Where are they at? It was just different times, it was different times. And it makes me, it made me think of my grandma, my grandpa, and it was just one of those, it was like a story of a man and his love story within it as well. But when I saw this movie and I saw how hard he was working, it made me think about my grandpa and how hard he worked his whole life to be this provider for his family. And what men would do to provide for their families. And it's just, it really brought me back. Like, it made me appreciate my grandpa more, because I know he really worked really hard. And I feel like men back then, whether it was on the railroad, logging, miners, like in the coal mines, it was just harder working times. And then when the Industrial Revolution happened, just times quickly changed to what they are now. It's insane. Anyhow, time passes and you get to see he does have many losses. And just when he feels like he's gonna get ahead, something happens. And there's always like a life lesson for him that he was definitely not expecting. So it was just really sad. Like I said, it's a very captivating movie, slow moving, but very, very well thought out movie on the life of this man. But what I'm telling you, I cried like, oh my God, I hadn't cried like that in a long time, because it almost feel like I can see how this could happen to many men and women at that time that wanted it so bad. And things would not turn the way they thought they would turn. And yeah, definitely a tearjerker. I mean, you can see with your kids, but I don't think the kids have I don't think they'll be able to sit still that long on a movie that there's not much action, And yeah, and then of course, they tell you how his life came to an end, at a certain point. And it was just a almost depressing movie, because you're always hoping for these kind of movies, like he's going to get the happy ending. It never came. And it broke my heart, because this character in the movie deserved it. Or at least you feel like he deserved it. He was such a good person. And I couldn't believe, it's just a reminder that unfortunately a lot of bad things happen to good people. And he was just one of those people. The only thing that made me feel good about his life is he got to experience this beautiful love that I know most people probably would never experience. And I think that's what that was so beautiful. You know, he got to experience certain things that most people don't get to experience. So it was a beautiful movie. I highly recommend it. You can watch this movie with your grandparents. I feel like grandparents would probably cry with you too. They'd be like, oh my God, I get it. It was such a good movie. Bring some snacks. But it was so good. And I definitely think, man, Netflix has just been hitting it spot on lately. They've just been putting some good movies. I feel like I don't have enough time to watch all these movies, and I'm really trying to make time for some of these shows. But it's getting harder. Okay, it's getting harder. But yeah, give me some movie recommendations that you guys have seen. Like I said, I'm open to suggestions, and then I'll give you guys my feedback on it. And then it made me go into memory lane. It made me think about when I was younger, you know, because this was 80 years of his life that they're showing you in this movie. And I was like, wow, 80 years. It's kind of cool. You get to see the beginning and the end of it. But 80 years, a lot can happen in 80 years. And I was thinking about how many times I've had to restart. And once you see the movie, you'll understand like how many times you have to restart and just keep pushing and like, okay, I thought this was my goal, my plan, and it doesn't turn out the way you think it's going to turn out. Then you have to start all over again. And I've had many situations like that where I felt like I was at a crossroads where I'm like, man, I thought this was my direction, and it just went to the left, and then I have to start over again. And one of those directions for me was the first time I got married. I was really, really young, and I just thought I had it all figured out at such a young age. I was a baby. I was in my early 20s, but I thought I had everything figured out. And then the day of my wedding, at that time, I knew I didn't want to get married. And I felt so pressured to get married because, one, I had been in a few years in this relationship, and then I felt pressure from his side of the family and my side of the family because we've been together for so long, and our friends almost kind of expected it. And we were okay with not getting married, but then we felt pressured. And then once it came to that day, the day of the wedding, I knew I didn't want to get married. Like, I just knew it. And I knew the moment I said, like, I do, I knew, like, whatever direction I thought it was going to go, it was not going to go. Because it just... And honestly, it might have taken like a minute. I'm no longer with that person. We decided to go our separate ways. But I think if we both sat down now, I don't speak to him like that anymore. But if we both sat down now, he would probably feel the same. And it was just one of those turning points in your life where you're like, oh, this is the direction I'm going to go. And then something happens and you're like, no, this is not the direction it's supposed to go. I will say that if in the future you ever feel that feeling, don't do it. It doesn't matter how much the wedding costs, doesn't matter who's going to get hurt, doesn't matter if other people are going to be disappointed. If you feel any type of inkling feeling in your gut, in your heart, in your soul, that this is not where I want to be, this is not what I imagined this moment to be, run. Run, because your body is literally telling you that for a reason. And that's one of my only regrets that I have. And I'm not super old, but I'm at an age where if I can go back and change something, it would probably be that, because I remember the day of my wedding. My dad was walking me down the aisle. We were waiting in this separate room, and I was looking at him, and I was like, I don't think I want to do this. And I was like, how do you know? How do you know? Like, how do you know you're doing the right thing? And like, I remember he just looked at me. He's like, well, you're asking me. That should tell you everything. Like, how do you know? Because he's like, the fact that you're asking is because you're not supposed to do it. And I was like, but all these people. And he's like, well, that's up to you. He's like, no matter what, I'm going to support you. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't work out now or a year from now. But eventually you'll have the courage to stand by how you feel. And he was so true. Like, it was so true, because it took me a minute to realize, and just things transpired within very quickly after I got married. And it didn't turn out to be what I thought it would be. I should have followed my intuition and my heart. But when you're that young, you just dismiss the red flags, and you just don't want to disappoint people. And normally we haven't found our, like, I feel like you don't find your voice until you're like late 20s going into your 30s. There's something about women that we don't tend to find our voice, like our true voice of, I really don't care if I'm hurting your feelings, or I'm not here to please anybody, kind of thing. Into our late 20s, there's just something about it's a different type of a strength to stand up for yourself. I find that you find it later in your 20s versus in my early 20s. I was a baby. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So it made me think about those decisions, specifically that one, because that's one of those decisions that I regret, not standing by my emotion, how I felt. After it happened, I had to restart. And I'm telling you, it sucks. It sucks to restart. And it took a minute to kind of gather my strength and kind of think of like, okay, well, what do I do now? And I kind of felt like Robert Grenier, in the movie. He's like, okay, this loss happened. Now what do I do? Who am I? And that was like the first time I had to kind of like re-ask those questions, because I feel like with relationships, it almost becomes like an identity, like you and that person. And it just reminded me of that. So yeah. Anyhow, so I definitely recommend the movie, and I definitely say follow your gut, follow your intuition. And that was me going down memory lane. Of course, there's a lot of cool other things that I would talk about, but that's at a later time. So I do have a question from someone, and let's see. Let me read it. It says, if you can pick 3 things for Christmas, what would it be? I'm not even gonna lie. I would pick peace and quiet. A real nap. Peace and quiet, a real nap, and just patience. But if you're asking for like gifts, I really want a telescope, because I like astrology. I believe in like energies like the moon and the sun and the stars, and I believe in like putting your gemstones out so they can get some of that energy from the sun or the moon, depending on what your kind of energy you're trying to get. But I do believe in that, so I would definitely say a telescope, or some cool gemstones like amethyst, like a white amethyst or purple amethyst, or citrine, or tourmaline, hematite. I'm an Aries, so hematite would definitely go pretty good with me. An opalite, that'd be great. I love beautiful gemstones, especially ones that are sparkly. Who doesn't like sparkly gemstones? And then I am a sucker for candles. I don't like sweet candles, like apple pie and all that. No, I like clean candles, clean, fresh smelling candles, like black bamboo, rain. Like, I'll take tropical things, tropical scents, but I don't like vanilla sugar, or I like orange blossom cranberry or something like that, but not like sweet stuff. Like, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's what I would pick. I don't know if that was a good answer, but those are hard ones, those are really hard ones. Oh, and real quick before I forget, I don't know, but the Powerball is going on right now, and I just thought about it, so I figured I was going to talk about it. The Powerball is going on right now, and like the price is like super hella high. Like it's high, and I'm just thinking like, okay, so if I was to win the lottery, what would I do with it? Obviously, it's millions of dollars, and there goes taxes, 40%. But after that, I really do feel like I would help my family be debt-free, like my extended family too. And then I really want to travel the world. If you know me, you would know that I love to travel. It's one of my favorite things to do. But I've always wanted to, if I had the money, I would probably bring clean water to rural areas. So I would want to have like my family to be debt free and travel with me and do mission work to bring clean water. And then for places where kids have to walk or commute to school, like far distant places, I would definitely do something to help their commute, because I think that is something that people should focus on. But yeah, I don't know, like definitely help people that are in need, or medical services, that are in parts of the world that financially they're not able to get it. So I think that would be a cool thing to do with my money, to travel and see people that are in need and help them out in that kind of way. And then one of my dreams would probably do like a family compound and buy like amazing amount of land, and then build like a family compound, which is basically land with a bunch of houses, and it's like all family. Like each family member has a house, but we all live right next to each other, and we have like a community pool, a community garden, a community everything, and we all just kind of meet in the middle. I always like, that would be a dream. That would be a dream. I mean, that should tell you I love my family. But yeah, create a family compound that would be like generational, and it could sustain itself. And yeah, that's what I would do. What would y'all do? What would y'all do? And if y'all do win, if y'all play, y'all win, don't forget your girl. So yeah, that was like a question that somebody had asked me randomly, because it's been going on lately. Lately, I feel like the Mega Million and the Powerball has been going on. Like, it hadn't been hit for a while, and right now I think it's the Powerball. But who knows? You definitely have to play if you want to win. So if you don't, sorry. All right, well, that's it for tonight. I hope you guys had a good time catching up with me again. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or leave a question, or if you need advice on something, hit up your girl. Leave it in the comments or message me privately on Instagram, and I will give you your answer on our next episode. Y'all have a good night. Merry Christmas.